Okay, quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. As you can see, shiny head. It's extremely hot today. So let's get into a video. So today's video is the great energy swindle. Why you're still overpaying, even though we've just been told that prices are going down. So energy prices are dropping, but your bills aren't. So stick around, I'm going to show you why you're still being ripped off and how to eventually claw some of it back. So energy bills in Britain absolutely skyrocketed in 2021, 2022 and 2023. Even as wholesale prices fall, many households, mine included, are still paying record high rates. Now, by the end of this video, you'll know why energy companies are hanging on to your money, and they really are, the scams that are baked into the pricing, and how you can fight back. So let's get into it. So from the off, you've got wholesale versus consumer prices. Now, wholesale energy costs actually fell over 40%, 42.5% in fact, in 2024. But typical household bills still remain around 1,800 to 2,000 a year. So they've dropped about 200, 250-ish pounds. Not 40%, is it? Standing charges are actually up. So the fixed daily fees have risen to record highs. And this is even as energy usage and energy costs per unit actually fall. We've got obviously the illusion of the price cap. Now, Ofgem famously, I think they make this up as they go along. The price cap doesn't stop you from being overcharged. It really doesn't. It's just the maximum allowed per unit. Now, energy companies basically get around this by offering tariffs that are frankly ridiculous. When I went to do my energy swap, which was about 4 months ago, I went on to Compare the Market, went on to Money Supermarket, went on to USwitch, all of the usual suspects. There was about 4 or 5 different comparison sites that I went to. And I played off the best tariffs on each against each other using a spreadsheet. I am that boring. And that dictated basically who I went with. But the volume of different tariffs available and also how complex they were to work out what's what with different arrangements, different payment periods, different standing charges, different unit costs. Some of them you get a gold level, a silver level, then you get a different premium if you've got an electric car attached to it. At certain times of day, the price might rise and fall. Energy companies have no longer got 1, 2 or 3 different products as they always used to. Some of them have got 20 different bloody products. And they use this confusion, they really use this confusion to keep people from switching. Because A, you just feel befuddled even getting into it, and it stops you from understanding the true cost. So they try and basically baffle you by making it as complex as possible so you think, sod it, I'll just stay where I'm at. And believe it or not, that works for them more so than probably you'd like to think. So because of this, the profits from the energy suppliers, they've remained strong. Even as households struggle, millions are struggling. Suppliers report stable, if not in some cases record margins, which seems ridiculous. They also do smart meter manipulation. So there are various reports you can go on the forums and read for yourself, places like Reddit, also other places like the Energy Watch forums. There are reports of inaccurate smart meter readings that actually inflate bills. So people are getting charged for energy they've not even used in many cases. So how can you fight back? Well, for one, you need to check your tariffs regularly. And by regularly, I don't mean every month or every 3 months. Do it maybe every 10 months. When yours is about to be renewed, go into your yearly contract. A couple of months before, just have a little shop around. That should give you enough time, and also it means you're not going to fall foul of any contractual agreements regarding notice period for changing supplier. It might be that obviously if you leave it too late and you're outside of the notice period, i.e. you've left it too late and time has progressed, there might be a fee. So you can avoid that. So 10 months into your contract, start looking for a new supplier. You need to do that every year. You need to use comparison sites. You need to consider cooperative energy suppliers and providers. Basically make the energy usage visible in the home. So where you can, if you've got one, use a smart meter. Now, they're not, as I said, 100% accurate all of the time, but I think you've got as fair a chance as any of being able to just use it to gauge your usage. When you see you've got a washing machine on, the microwave going, your air fryer going, something being tumble dried, and your EV charging, and your little bar goes from green to woo, like to nuclear, you can basically see what's smashing your energy, and there might be optimum times of day that you can charge your car. Some providers, sadly mine don't, but some providers do offer tariffs where you can charge your vehicle between 10 o'clock at night or midnight and 5 or 6 in the morning, and you pay about 4 pence per kilowatt. So that's much better than what I pay, which is about 24 pence per kilowatt. So I am massively overpaying for my EV usage. In fact, there was a comment on a previous video. A gentleman had asked me to do a comparison on EVs. Obviously, I've owned an EV now for several years. I've had plenty of diesels in my life. I love a diesel, and before that I had some petrol cars. So I've run the whole gamut of different vehicles and the costs associated with insuring, taxing, and most importantly, fueling them. And it has to be said, even though I'm blatantly being ripped off my current supplier in terms of charging my vehicle, what it costs me, it's still about 12.5 quid, or about 13 quid if there's nothing in the tank, to charge mine up to about 200 miles. There aren't many other petrol or diesel cars that aren't hybrid that you can go 200 miles for about 12.5 quid on. Certainly not with the amount of poke and the comparable EV to kind of litre engine comparison that you've got against my EV. So you can imagine if you're paying sort of 4 pence per kilowatt, you could charge an EV from 0 to max, probably for about 2.5, 3 quid. That suddenly makes them much more affordable. And that was the main reason for me buying one, was that my last diesel, which was an Audi A5, a massively sporty mapped coupe, it was about 240 horsepower, and it used to literally fly through diesel. It was a very fast, very nice, very, very luxury, well, for me, a very luxury type saloon. But it used to literally drink diesel, despite being mapped. So my EV, I think, is now about 1/3 of the cost in terms of, or comparative cost in terms of fuel, that I'm actually spending to fuel an electric vehicle. They don't have any of the fun of a diesel, they don't have any of the fun of a petrol, but as a money-saving exercise, right up until they increased the vehicle tax, it was genuinely saving me a little bit of money each month. So anyway, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on the great energy swindle? Have you noticed that you're being ripped off by your electricity, by your gas, or even by your water company? Drop it in the comments, let me know. Really keen to find out. So YouTube is going to put another video somewhere around there. The algorithm is pretty sure you're going to enjoy it. Maybe it's right. Give it a look. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz. Goldman, peace out.